Well, what's up, everyone? I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Look, this is going to be as natural as it's going to get. I'm not going to do any cutting, it's going to be unfiltered. If you really want to be successful in life, I'm not talking about just financially successful, I'm talking about healthy, strong, at peace, have that contentment to the point that you're enjoying life. You begin to laugh again. You begin to see yourself want to do some things that you started to do, but you have put those on the back burner simply because you have been told you can't do these things. You have all this responsibility and you are striving so hard to please others that you just stop living your life. You stop living your life. So we're going to talk about reconciliation, reconciling to your true self, reconciling back to your true self. How many of us have left the path of that joyful person that we used to be growing up? Man, I used to laugh so much when I grown up. When I was growing up, they used to call me Smiley. People used to get mad. It's like, why are you always smiling? Even when things are going on that does not seem so pleasant, and you're still finding that joy, you're smiling, they're getting angry and call you names. You know, the little nicknames. I know sometimes they don't mean any harm, but they're calling you because of what you're doing, your representation of yourself. They call you, they make a name out of that. If you're angry, they call that madman. You're smiling, it's smiley. But it is a thing that we really need to address. This is something that we really need to address. It's something that we really need to look at because there are a lot of men that is suffering silently. They take on the label that society has placed on them, calling them, you got to be a tough man. You got to be this kind of man, that macho man, that all this different kind of man, to the point that they have stepped away from their true authentic self. They have moved away from the one who was happy and smiling and optimistic to the point that you're sitting down every day thinking about how I'm going to make the money to pay the bills, how I'm going to get my kids through college. Now, these are things that we need to address. Yes, these are things that need to be think about, thought about as we grow, as we go along this journey. Yes, these are things that we need to do, but it shouldn't take up so much space in our life or get us to a place where we are so concerned about it even before we get there. Some people are saving up 10 or 15 or 20 years before their kids get there for them to go to college debt free. But guess what? Things are increasing every day. Sometimes when you get there, what you have, it might be just a good start to get into college, but the price could be so high that you still have to add to what you have. So why should you worry? Why should you take time to put that pressure on you now? Listen to me. Go ahead, start the saving and contribute to it. But do not allow it to overwhelm you to the point that you stop living, you stop enjoying life. You don't have enough to go on a vacation. You don't have enough to have get you a good meal or buy you a nice pair of sneakers, something that you want to enjoy. Be careful not to allow it to overwhelm you to the point that you're not enjoying your life. None of us know what is going to happen tomorrow. And that is not an excuse not to do the right thing as far as saving, as far as giving, as far as prepare for something, but not making it our the focal point of our life to the point that we shut down everything else, just focus on this one thing to get to that place. We have left the path of our true happiness. We stop being the person that we used to be. As it says, now that you are a man, you got to think like a man, you got to act like a man. But guess what? Deep inside of you is this person that made up this man, this joyful person, because you can increase in age and you can have all this responsibility. And when you don't have no joy and no peace, guess what? You're going to cut your health and yourself short. Because guess what? The things that's supposed to give you strength, the joy that's supposed to energize you, the things that's supposed to make you happy that does not feel like work has now becomes work and is sucking the life out of you because you have left the path of your true self and now have adapted a path that the world is saying that you should be, that people are saying this is the way you should live your life. Everyone have a choice to choose in life, and there is so many different paths that lead to this place. It leads to this destination of success. Do we call it success? There is so many paths that lead to this success. But if you continue or if you choose someone else's path and this path is not lined up with your value, you're going to find yourself feeling so overwhelmed. You're going to find yourself feeling so uncomfortable, unhappy to the point that you just give up. But when you understand this, and it takes a renewed mind to understand this, first of all, you got to start with the man in the mirror. Ask yourself, what do you want? Ask yourself, how is this going to serve you and serve those around you? Is it going to suck the life out of you? It is going to draw the happiness that is inside of you out of you. There's a scripture that says, sadness, it dried up the bone. It dries up the bone, but a merry heart, the one that is happy, you feel energized. It brings you alive. It's like medicine. It's like medicine that you're now being revived and refreshed, and you want to go and want to do so much more. You are giving more, you are engaging more, and you are receiving more because now it does not feel like work. It feel like something, like it's a hobby, something that you really like to do, and you're doing it and you're giving it 100%, and it is benefiting those around you, and also the rewards that is coming back to you will be tremendous. It will be so much. The surplus, the increase will be more than enough that you can live a good and happy and prosperous life and still be a blessing, a tremendous blessing to those around you. To reconcile with our true self, we have to learn to let go of some things. We have to learn to let go of some things because our true self include that peace, the joy, the happiness, that love, which is our DNA. We were made in the image of love. To reconcile with ourselves, we have to be willing to let go and forgive. Let go of the unforgiveness. Let go of the hurt. Let go of the mindset that telling you, yes, they hurt you. I will never do anything good for them because they are the one who started this and they are wicked and they're mean and they're evil. Let go of the judgmental thoughts. Let go of those things. They are doing nothing good for you but holding you back. When you begin to reconcile with your true self, you begin to see yourself made in the image of love. Guess what? Compassion will be the tool that you will use to draw others to you or to help them to come out of that place where they are, that place of misunderstanding, that place of deception, that place where they think that that's who they are. You are just shedding a little light on the journey that they're on. You cannot force them to do anything. You cannot make them do what they don't want to do. But out of love, true love, feel the compassion and just shed the little light. And they're, oh, I'm about to fall in a hole. And guess what? They just make that transition or make that change and go around or change direction. That's what love would do. When we reconcile with our true self, we begin to see peace as something that is so needed in our life. Because when you begin to worry, when you begin to get upset and allow yourself to worry over the things that you have no control of, guess what? It affects your health as well. And it begins to break down that body, that temple that you live in. Because remember, you are this divine being living in this temple. Your body is like a temple. When you begin to worry, it begins to affect your body, blood pressure, all these different sickness begins to come into your body, and guess what? Now you cannot enjoy the life that you really want to enjoy, the things that was there for you to enjoy. I love driving myself. I love sitting in the passenger seat when my wife or any one of my friends are driving, or my kids, but I enjoy being behind the wheel. I want to feel that power. I want to be able to play with the radio, listen to the music. I want to be able to see for myself and feel it for myself. They say, oh, taste and see that God is good. You have to taste for yourself. When you taste, your taste bud might be different from this other person. You might like a little bit more hotter pepper, while the other person like it mild. So the taste bud might be different. But in order for you to know how hot you like it or how hot you want it, you have to taste for yourself. So when you reconcile into your true self, it brings that happiness and joy into your life. You begin to see yourself as this unique person. You begin to see yourself as someone who have control over your mind. Take back control over your mind and control those thoughts. Don't give your power to anyone. Don't allow anyone to get under your skin and cause you to be so upset that you now begins to get sick. Don't allow someone to do that to you. In other words, you are the one who is doing it to yourself, not that someone. You allow that in. You are the gatekeeper of your mind, your heart. You allow what goes in and you allow what comes in. But it's all practice. You got to practice. You got to put in the work. You got to be aware of what your thoughts are, what you're thinking, what the feelings that you have. And as you begin to feel those feelings, you know that you're going off course. You know that you're out of alignment with your true self. So, not because you're a husband, not because you are now a father, not because now that you are an uncle, a cousin, the big brother they call you. It doesn't mean because you are all that, you have to stop smiling, you have to stop enjoying things, you have to stop having those desire to drive your dream car or to live in this house that you like, to live in that land, to have a place where you could meditate, a place where people could come and relax and y'all can enjoy the time that you have to spend together. Not because you have those labels mean that you have to give up your dreams and your goals. Everything can be done in order. Everything can be done by prioritizing your life, prioritizing the things around you. Put what need to be first first and what need to be second second. You got to understand, if you are not good enough for yourself, you won't be good enough for others. If you're not healthy enough for yourself, you won't be able to help others. You have to be able to reconcile with yourself in order for you to feel free, to have and experience that freedom, knowing that you are living your life the way you're supposed to live your life. You are not living someone else's life. And don't get this wrong. We all learn from others. We learn from others. We see someone made a mistake. Are you going to go and make that same mistake just to prove a point? They just went down that road. The road is flooded. The car is stuck down there underwater, and you're going to go down that same path with the same car? No. You learn from that mistake. You learn from their experience right there. So we all learn from each other. But you got to understand now that you saw what happened there. Now you got to choose a path, which way you want to go, to the left or to the right, to get around that big pool of water that is down there where that person is stuck. You got to make a choice. And even when they give you the advice, go to the left because it's less over there, you still got to make a choice whether you go or you stay. Are you gonna follow the path that they are now stuck in? Reconciling with yourself, it just coming into acknowledgement or being aware of your true identity and begin to live life that way. Understanding that you are loved inside of you is love. The type of love, that undefiled love, that even when you do something for someone, you are not looking for no special reward. You're doing it because you love, and you love doing things, and you love seeing people happy. You're just giving because that's who you are. You just is. You're not doing it for a reward. Even though, as it says, the principle say, give and it shall be given back to you. You don't know who it's going to come from. You just following the precepts. You're just following the principles of just giving. You're following the Lord. When you send it out, you know in your heart that it's going to come back to you. But that is not your why. Why you're doing it? It because there was a need right there. Love saw this need, and love filled that need right there. Reconcile with yourself helps you to detach from the world's customs and behavior. It helps you to go back to your true self, where you are not loving and doing an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You are not copying those customs. You are doing what is right, even if someone disagree with you. You are doing exactly what you know you need to do. You are aware of what you need to do, and you are following those principles. When you reconcile with your true self, you become so free that others' opinion of what you're doing or the way you live your life, especially because you know what you're doing is something opposite of what you've been doing for so long, wasn't getting no results. And here you are switching gears and coming back to the true way of living. While you can say that everyone do their own thing, yes, but you have to know what benefits you. You have to know what makes you feel good. Not everything that someone does will work for you. Not everything. There might be some, but you have to know in your heart what makes you feel so sure about this, what makes you feel so good about this, what brings you confidence and peace when you're doing it. Have you ever given to someone and in your heart you really didn't want to give, while someone else is giving and they're feeling joyful in giving? You're giving to the same person. Both of you giving to the same person. But in your heart, it's like, man, I could have taken this money and give it to someone else. You're just giving because you just want them to think that you have all that going on. There's a different reason. And even with all that giving, there still was no peace there. You're looking for validation. You're seeking that validation. And because the person did not respond the way you want them to respond, you didn't feel good. But when you give from the right motive, not looking for it, but because the love in you energizes you and encourages you to give, you feel good. You feel free. You feel like you are the one who receiving the money. You feel like you are the one who receiving the gift. You feel so good about yourself. You have the same joy and peace like the one that you just give to. The problem that you just solved. You feel so good about yourself that even if you didn't get a reward, you was okay. But the principles always work. When you understand or when you reconcile with your true self, you don't have to worry about where is it coming from or who it is coming from. You're not worried about whom it's coming from, but you're also sure of yourself. You believe in the principles that it works, that you just be yourself. Just be yourself. Reconciling to your true self will help you to let go of hatred, hating people for no reason because of past history, because of things that happened in the past, because of things that happened in the family's past. Those up front, the present one, those that are present now, is suffering because of that, or being hate because of that. Letting go of that help you to be free, but it takes being willing to reconcile to your true self, to see compassion, to see forgiveness, and let go and forgive them, because a lot of them have nothing to do with what happened in the past history. Yes, there's some people still holding on to that, but you cannot allow, or you should not punish one person for another person's decision that they make way back then. What if you were the one who were being treated like that right now? How would you feel? How would you feel if someone is treating you that way? Like it said, do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. It takes being reconciling to your true self that will take you back to that place that you are willing to do that. Treat others as you will love them to treat you. So many people are conformed to the system of the world. So many people are conformed to the mass thoughts. Those people who are telling you that, hey, every man for himself, God for us all, every man for himself. That's not the way to live. You got to be yourself, because if you're not be yourself, you will never live the life that you really want to live. And then you begin to regret later on in life, wishing that you can go back and reverse those things. But guess what? It's in the past. You can only start from where you are right now, living in the now. Reconcile with your true self. Find that place where you can sit down, evaluate your life, think about your life, put that man in the mirror, or look at that man in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Because remember this, what you do for yourself, it what will come back to you. What someone else is doing in their life, that's the benefits that they will get. That's the what they will reap. What they sow, that's what they will reap. But what you sow is what you will reap. Don't expect what someone else doing over there will change your life over here. You got to work on the man in the mirror. You got to start with the man in the mirror. Yes, there will be some things that they will do and say that will influence you or like light a spark, but you still have to pick it up from there. So start with the man in the mirror. Look at your life. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Are you are you content with where you are? Are you happy with what's going on in your life? Is everything hunky dory? Is everything what you really want? Or there is some pieces in there that you need to work on? There is some pieces that is not connected the right way. I used to think, and every one of us have a backstory. I used to think it takes someone else to be in the place where I want them to be in order for me to succeed in life. Like they say, you can lead a horse to water. The horse is right there, but you cannot make that horse drink. In other words, there can be someone there who is willing to help you. But until you step out, until you take action, like it also said, faith without works is there. Until you take action, it will not benefit you in any way. Take an honest evaluation of yourself. Because remember, it starts with you. When you start working on yourself, when you started to reconcile to your true self, and you start to allow the divine power in you to bring to your awareness or help you to see the areas of your life where you are lacking joy, peace, contentment, freedom, feeling free, where your financial lack is, where you're worrying about money. When you reconcile with your true self, you begin to see things a whole lot clearer. You begin to understand there is no one that is holding you back but yourself. You begin to understand that it is your thoughts that is limiting you. You begin to understand that all of us have the same start. If you want to go back biblically, according to the Bible, each one of us has been given a measure of faith. Look at how every man came into this world. As a baby, there was thought. They were shown how to do things. And then when they grow, they begin to not reinvent, but they begin to renew their mind and begin to either build on what they have or demolish and rebuild, restructure, reframe, remodel. They begin to seek their own way. They begin to see things through their own eyes. What make them happy? What make them sad? They begin to make their own choice. You have the power inside of you that can take you from 0 to 100, just like anyone else. But if you are not renewing your mind daily, where you stop comparing yourself to others, you will find yourself stuck in life, stuck right there and blaming Tom, Dick, and Harry for your success, or because you are not being successful. I had to come to the conclusion myself. You're not alone. Where I had to let go of the past, where I have to take responsibility for my action, where I have to take responsibility for where I am, see myself there, and make a choice to say, well, I want to get out from where I'm at. There is more out there to life. All of us deserve the best, and we have the opportunity to have the best. Your best might be different from my best, but regardless, it's still a best. I had to make up in my mind. I'm not going to hate anyone. I'm not going to be jealous of what they have. I'm going to cheer them on because there is more than enough for all of us. More than enough for all of us. We can go to the well and we can drink. We can draw from that well and never exhaust the resources that is there. Never deplete that resources that is there. It keep replenishing. It keep replenishing. It says to seek and you will find. When you knock, the door open unto you. When you ask, it is given. Everyone who asks, receive it. Everyone. I love to zoom in on those little words. Everyone, all those words make a difference to me. A big difference. There is this divine power in you, this divine spirit in you. You are made in the image and likeness of the Creator. You are a divine being. You can go back or start right now, I should say. Let's start now and reconnect to your true self. Reconcile. Come in agreement of that person that you was designed to be. You were created to be. One who was given the order to be fruitful, multiply, subdue, have dominion. You have the mind of the Creator God in you. Ideas are in you that can benefit you and benefit those around you. But if you take your eyes off of you and you are looking at someone else, don't get this wrong. I'm not saying you don't learn from others, but when you take your eyes off of your true self, your destiny, your destination, your journey, and you begin to yearn to be that person over there, and begin to try so hard to copy something that you are not. That's not you right now at this moment. You are starting out. This person is already up there at number 9 because they've been doing it for a while. They're recognizing where they are. They were aware and they begin to work on themselves and they are up there. You are starting here. Where you at now is where you need to work on so that you can build that momentum and get to that place where he is up there at 10. You're not competing with them, but the journey is going along and it will cross that threshold up there and keep going. When you begin to focus on yourself and what you need to do, you begin to reconcile with your true self because you know there is where you draw the strength. There is where you get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and the courage from. You will begin to make movements, you begin to take action, and you begin to find yourself feeling free and happy, content, but not staying where you are. head into that destiny where you will be successful in living. And right where you are, you got to be when well, let me say this again. Right where you are, when you reconcile with your true self, you're feeling so joyful. Have you not waiting until you hit number 10 to be happy and content? You're going to be happy where you are, but not staying there. You're happy because you see yourself now. You are aware of where you are. You are aware of what you can be and what you can do. You are aware of what is in front of you. You become energized. It becomes not hard, but a journey, an expectation of something that you're looking forward to, that you know this is going to be a nice and excited journey. This is going to be good. So I want to thank you for listening. Here's the call to action. Remember this: when you change the way you think, you change the way you live. When you begin to renew your mind, you will begin to change the way you live. It will not just change your life, but it will change your lifestyle. Changes start on the inside, not on the outside. Nothing happened on the outside until it begins on the inside. Changes start on the inside, and you will see the results on the outside. What one habit that you think that you can start working on today that will help you to reconcile to your true self, where you are now connecting to yourself? You're being aware of who you truly are. What habit, what one thing would you can you do or you would like to start to do today that would help you to see yourself, the person that you really want to be, and begin to reconcile to that person? Begin to realign, begin to reconnect to that person so that you can live the life that you really want to live, the one that was given to you as a gift. Where can you start? What can you do today to begin that journey of reconciliation with your true self that was created in the image and likeness of the Creator, so that you can live that gift that was handed to you? I love you guys. Until next time, this is Nelson. Don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe, and encourage someone to come to the channel and listen to these videos, because we are here to help you to evolve into that man that you was created to be. The one before you are a father, a husband, a uncle, a cousin. There was this unique person in you, this divine person, this spiritual being that you are, that full of joy, peace, happiness, unstoppable. But you allow yourself, or we all have done it, to wander away from that path of our true self. Start that journey of reconciliation. It will renew your mind. When you renew your mind, it will change the way you live. Until next time, I love you guys. Peace, and we out.